I'm Dave. I work with Merkovich Casper, or Merkovich Associates. We're the Alto Shaam reps in Wisconsin, Illinois. So I do all the trainings for them. I live in Milwaukee, so if you need me to come back for any sort of updating or new staff turnover, please let me know. Okay, you got my card. We're going to go over Combi ovens first. Just keep in mind, everything I go over, there's also a manual with this stuff as well. So I'm not going to, if I miss something, please read your manual. All right, so we'll go over the simple operations of the Combi. Turn them off and on. To turn them on, we just touch this power button one time. It'll go through initialization, about 30 seconds. It'll start up. So you see initializing. To turn them off, we'll push and hold this power button for 5 seconds. The eye turns red and it shuts off. Shut down, goes to sleep. Initialization done. So when it first comes up, we have options at the top here. We have steam, like Chef pointed out earlier. We have a combination of steam and convection. On the far side, we have convection. Convective air is just dry, hot air with a fan. It's good for drying stuff out. So it's great for baked goods, you know, cookies, muffins, you know, bakery. Steam, absolutely, I actually know how to use steam. It's great for a lot of things besides just straight 212. I can adjust my steam temperature down to 85 or up to 250 in steam. So if I want to do proofing, I can get it down to 110. If we want to use this for more low temp, accurate sous vide style cooking, I can get that. I can get that into a, you know, like a 150, 160, 170 range. And if I want to go up higher for something like a root vegetable, I can get it up to 250 for something a little hardier. Okay. In combination and convection, my temperature range is between, it says 85, but it's actually 250 and 575. I don't think you'll need to run 575 for anything, but it will get that hot if you need it for something. So in combination, I'm not sure how in-depth you guys ever got with combi cooking. Combination cooking superheats steam. So when I superheat steam, it's no longer wet to the touch. It becomes a gas and it protects my food in this environment. So if I'm doing something like chicken breast, meatloaf, meatballs, anything, any sort of protein, if I'm running this in combi, the humidity is protecting the inside of my food while cooking the outside and giving me browning. Okay, so a lot of places that have these, they'll spend $500,000 on combis and run them in convection because they don't get it. I just want to make sure you guys utilize that to your full potential. Even something like, I don't know what you're going to cook in here, but if it's something like even chicken tenders, grilled cheese, in combination mode, will crisp up and brown the outside, protecting the inside in combi mode. Okay, if I try a convection oven with grilled cheese, I make a crouton sandwich, right? Kind of curls up the outside, dries the bread out. That's not what we want. We want combination. Okay, so that's the benefit of the combi cook. So most proteins, I run them combi straight. Okay. First, choose your mode that you want to cook in, steam, combi, or convection. So say we're going to do combi for most part. To change our temperature, we touch the little gauge here, and then go up or down to choose it. And then we'll choose to cook by time. I'll increase my time by minutes or down, and then simply hit play, shut the door, and hit play. Okay, it's a very basic control. Start and stop is the same button. These are up and down changes. This is for a probe. This oven does not have a probe in it, so this will not be a utilizable function. Okay. Fan speeds, we're allowed full and half speed fan. Typically, I got to have my temperature down a certain temperature before that will allow me to change half speed, because all my brains and guts are on this side of the oven keeping it cool. As I increase the temperature in this oven, I have to increase the fan speed to keep my brains from overheating. So if I'm running 450 degrees, I can't get half fan speed. And really, if you're loading this thing full of food, you're going to need that fan speed to get some air moving. Okay. So to change that, just touch it, and it will flick to half speed, and then back up to full. Okay. And then there's a cleaning cycle on this oven for washing itself, which is a nice feature, so you guys don't have to mess around with it. So in the cleaning cycle is the little scrubbing bubbles here. I'll hit that. The oven says clean, and the number 6 shows up. The 6 is just a default number of tabs that we use. Do you guys have the tabs anywhere or know where they are?
Not that I know of, but we will try and find out.
Okay, and I'll show you how to get them, what to do with them in a minute.
Okay.
But it says 6. 6 is a default. This oven will run with 1 tab in it. It'll run with 2, it'll run with 3, but it's going to run the same amount of time. 6 is just a default. So if you just steamed rice in here all day, you don't have to push the 6 tab clean in it. It's not necessary. So we do it. If you guys can look over here, if you need to walk over or not. This is critical. I've seen people botch this a couple times. The screen comes off the drain. The tabs go right down in here. The tabs look like little white suckers.
Did they look like a Sandy tab, kind of?
Almost like a dishwasher tab.
Okay.
They're just little pucks, tiny little pucks. They slide in there, in the back, and the screen goes back on. The key on this is if we don't put the screen back on until you've got a potato or a dumpling or something like that falls down in the drain box, it can clog up your drain.
Okay.
And then the oven starts to fill with water and you've got a Combi aquarium. Not good, not good. So put the tabs in there. The cart goes back in if you can. I'm not sure how many carts you guys have. If it's loaded up with chicken in the fridge, you might want to leave it in there. The key on this, when I put in the cart, you guys see there's a kick plate on the back that I just kicked. When I put the Combi rack in, it will seal up against the gaskets here and here, and then here. If I don't, I've got a huge gap here that all my water is going to fly out of. So it works best to have the rack in during a wash cycle.
Where would we get the tabs from? Would they be from
They
one
come-
of our broadliners or from?
Yeah, pretty much anyone that, I don't even know if like a Cisco or US Foods has them, but if not, Belters has them, at Don. I think a bucket of 90 comes with each oven. So there should be a case, like a stack of cases of it somewhere.
Okay.
We don't have stacks of cases anywhere right now, so I'm sure we'll be able to find it.
Either Aaron or Chuck might know where they've stored them.
Yeah, there's somewhere.
Stashed them.
There's somewhere. There's got to be. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 6 or 7 boxes, big boxes. So we'll put the tabs in, shut the door, hit the scrubbing bubbles, and hit play. Okay, the oven will go through its wash cycle and go to sleep afterwards, so you can clean it last thing out the door.
Clean daily?
If you're doing a lot of heavy grease, I would say clean daily.
Okay.
If you're doing, if you're roasting wings and bacon and chicken, skin on chicken in here all day and it looks like a crime scene, then run the 6-tab clean. If you guys ran rice in here all day, it's just water, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. So the other kicker on this is the handle comes off. This bites people a lot. If they leave it on during the cook process, they open the door, they forget it's part of the hot rack, and they grab it with their little hands, and they have to go home early, and you got to write up an accident report. Maybe get in a habit of keeping it on top, or find a special area for it where it won't walk away,
Okay.
or make sure you slam it home to the kids to not touch this with a bare hand. One of the two.
Let's just leave it
It's usually easiest to leave it out. And then you'll notice on the rack, for transportation, there's locks on both sides so your sheet pans don't go sliding off. Okay, hotel pans will fit right on the racks, and then the sheet pans on the shelf. And then one more item on the oven as far as, sorry, hon. When we're preheating the oven, there is a kick plate right here that you can put up, and this basically seals up this gap. Okay, so we're not heating the kitchen, we're heating the oven. Okay, so if nothing's inside the oven, no racks inside there.
Do you
Put
need
that
to
up.
take the rack out to preheat?
Nope,
Okay.
not at all. But if you have a rack full of chicken breast in the refrigerator, you want to preheat the oven before you load it. So at least get it up to temp and then fire it again. Okay. But this just keeps the heat from coming out into the building. That's it. And then once it's preheated, you'll have to hit it home to not grab it with your bare hand, because once again, this is part of the oven. I have been caught by that before. Okay. The door is 3 panes. Keeps the hot in and the cold out. It really does a very good job of insulating the oven. You can put your hand on the outside of the door and it's 500 degrees and it won't burn you. Okay. This oven is a very it's designed for safety. So there are no hot spots on the front of the door. Everything stays pretty cool. It's all safety feature. The last minute of your cook time, you'll start venting out steam so we don't get a blast of it in the face as well. But still suggest when the timer's done, break the door open like that, let it steam out instead of just going after it, Any questions on that? Okay, they're pretty basic. Like I said, I just want to make sure you guys are using it in steam or combi mode for the most part. That's where it shines. You've got 4 convection ovens here.
Right.
This is prime real estate. Use those things. If you're just going to dry out a muffin or a cookie, go for it. The only difference is these fans auto reverse every 3 minutes, so you get a little more even cook. So if you're doing a big batch of bakery and you got plenty of room, go for it. But if you're waiting to get in here, just use those.